Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Southern Africa venture into Botswana to care for the needy. Korean broadcasting station EBS and Taiwan's DaAi TV join hands to provide educational programming suitable for all ages. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. In 1992, Tzu Chi's first seed flourished in South Africa and over the years spread to Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Swaziland, and Mozambique. Knowing the good deeds Tzu Chi volunteers have been doing throughout Southern Africa, a Taiwanese businessman contacted Tzu Chi in the hopes of helping the poor and the needy of Botswana. Recently, a team of Tzu Chi volunteers from different Southern African countries traveled to Botswana to conduct assessments.
Botswana is a country located in southern Africa and has one of the world's largest inland deltas, the Okavango Delta. According to international organizations, it is considered the most prosperous country in southern Africa. However, Botswana has also been the hardest hit by the HIV/AIDS epidemic, with around a third of the adult population estimated to be infected. Today, volunteers from Johannesburg and Durban, South Africa, along with a volunteer from Lesotho, are traveling to Botswana. Upon arriving at the border of Botswana, volunteers are greeted by sudden rain and hails. As the country has seen no rain for the past 3 months, the rain was much welcome. Despite the long distance they had traveled the day before, the volunteers insisted on waking up early to watch Master Jinyan's Wisdom at dawn broadcast. To care for underprivileged children, the volunteers visited the SOS Children's Village in Taloquin, which shelters needy children and orphans.
We are a family. We are a global family. Alleluia,
alleluia. Taiwanese businessman Lin Yijun also arrived with much-needed daily necessities to express her love and care for the locals. Next, the blue and white-clad angels traveled to the community of multimodal habit to extend their assistance to the poor. This is 70-year-old Polo Babedi, who suffers from skin problems. Upon learning of her plight, Durban Tzu Chi volunteers gave the senior a massage and some food.
They've got nothing to eat today, but this soup is going to add everything to them.
Tzu Chi volunteers even thoughtfully gifted children Jingsi Artisans booklets that have been translated into the local dialect. Although suffering from bone spurs, Tzu Chi volunteer Pan Ming Shui continues on the journey, giving himself an acupuncture treatment to relieve his pain. Thanks to selfless dedication of the Tzu Chi volunteers, Botswana has become the 6th country in southern Africa that the Buddhist NGO has set foot in.
Torrential rains in early November in northern Haiti brought about flooding to many residential areas. 7 Tzu Chi volunteers from the U.S. formed a disaster assessment team and visited Cap-Haitien, the most severely affected region. There, volunteers met up with local spiritual leaders for an in-depth look at the damages. Following their initial assessments, volunteers will provide drinking water and food while enacting a project to clean up the environment. In Cap-Haitien, Haiti, the team of 7 volunteers from the Tzu Chi Foundation in the United States is meeting up with the 3 nuns of the Congregation of Sisters of St. Anne to get the latest updates of how residents are recovering following the recent floods. The nuns also invited Father Leslie, a local spiritual leader, to join the discussion.
I will take you to the flooded area to visit those who sought shelter at my church after the floods. There are about 400 of them.
The water came fast and rose about this high. My mother was already sick before the flood happened, and when the waters came, she tripped, fell, and drowned.
The residents who live in the slums are mostly migrants from the countryside. When I have food, I will give them rice or beans. Sometimes I will give money to the families that need it.
The church gives me and my children food because my husband left us.
Poverty is the biggest problem in Haiti, and the repetitive flooding year after year pushes the residents down the tunnel of poverty further with no hope of improvement. Tzu Chi volunteers later revisited Blue Hills and met up with Father Vallon to get a second look at the damage.
There are no work opportunities here. The residents here just wait around without anything else to do. Some people only eat every 2 or 3 days. Most go for days without food and water. Students often complain to me that they are hungry. Some of my students come to school just so they have food to eat.
Drinking the tainted waters out of desperation, residents often contract cholera. Seeing the compassion Father Vallon has for his people, Tzu Chi volunteers vow to return soon with assistance for this land and its residents. In February of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines were notified of conjoined twins born into a poor family in a village in Pangasinan province. After visiting the family of 5, the volunteers discovered the twins suffered malnourishment and immediately took the family under their wings. As the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan has successfully separated conjoined twins from the Philippines in the past, volunteers and team of doctors are working hard to get the twins to Taiwan to undergo separation surgery.
This was Jenny Lin and Jerry Lee Lin when they were 2 months old. Born in a village in the Philippines' Pangasinan province, the twins' birth immediately shocked the village and filled their mother's heart with worry.
We didn't have the money to buy the children baby formula. At times, there was simply nothing to eat. I'd rather give them my share because they would cry when they were hungry. I hope my children can undergo surgery because the way they are now doesn't work.
After being notified, Tzu Chi volunteers immediately took the twins under their wings in hopes that the girls can undergo a successful separation surgery in Taiwan, just like previous conjoined twins. 10 months later, volunteers brought the twins to a medical center to perform an MRI scan to see what parts of their organs are connected. Though it is rare for twins to be conjoined at the abdomen, which increases the difficulty of a separation surgery, both volunteers and team of doctors are doing their best to get Jenny Lin and Jerry Lin to Taiwan in hopes of reversing their fortune.
Sobrang tawa po. Natuwa po ako. Salamat, malaking salamat po. Kasi sa matutulungan po yung anak ko po para.
As the weather turns colder, Tzu Chi has begun the final preparations for its annual winter aid distributions in China. Ahead of one such distribution to be held in Jiangsu's Siyang County, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting residents to determine who will most benefit from the aid Tzu Chi plans to offer. As the volunteers made their rounds, many residents welcomed them with open arms and expressed gratitude for the help Tzu Chi has brought in the past.
Here in Jiangsu's Siyang County, the weather hovers around 10 degrees Celsius. Residents here, however, remember the warmth of past years.
对，我们今年又来了。又来了哈。来探望你。哎呀，太好了。
In 2006, Tzu Chi brought its love and care to this area through a series of large-scale aid distributions. This resident still has the quilt that was part of the aid package that year.
那被子现在呢？被子
他的家回去穿，他的房子了。
啊？还在盖啊？
还在盖了。
哦，还在盖。那你保养的，把被子保养得很好呀。
Next, volunteers visit Sun Kai-hua, only to discover that his financial situation has yet to improve. With his wife missing, Sun has to now raise their 2 children on his own. However, he faces the future with hope and also fondly remembers Tzu Chi's help in the past.
Tzu Chi gave us a comforter, 2 quilts, a can of oil, 3 bags of rice, 20 kilos each. I remember it all very clearly. I won't forget the food and the other items that you gave me.
We are thankful that we have this opportunity to better understand suffering and therefore appreciate how blessed we ourselves are.
Over 100 volunteers continue to pay home visits here in Siyang prior to this year's aid distribution. For each resident, they also prepared a pair of warm gloves.
23,000 people in Siyang County, where about 7,000 families need help. Serving that number has been about 1,000 volunteers. Their actions have really been a pure expression of love. It is moving to see.
Bringing love to all corners, Tzu Chi is making sure that residents here will pass the winter with warm stomachs and warm hearts.
Many people's lives have been ruined because of drug addiction, including Lin Chao Ching of Taiwan. To get the money he needed to buy his fix, he scammed, stole, and robbed, and was imprisoned 3 times. His wife and son also decided to leave him. In spite of all this, Lin's mother still believed in him and stood by him. Eventually, Lin would come around thanks to the support of Tzu Chi volunteers, and is now making amends to right the wrongs he has done in the past.
When you do something wrong and break your mother's heart, your blessings will disappear, along with every drop of your mother's tears. This is my job every day. I prepare and cook the dishes and heat up whatever needs to be heated.
Once, Ling was a drug addict who would take anything he could find to get high, but now he runs a vegetarian restaurant. Though discharged from prison for nearly a decade, Ling still revisits often to share his life story with other inmates.
When I ran out of money to buy drugs, I borrowed money from anyone I could. When my relatives and friends saw me coming, they just ran away.
Ling kneels down to apologize to his mother for his ignorant actions that broke her heart.
The first person to visit me in prison was no other than my mother. I still remember that day. I picked up the phone and said, "Haven't you seen enough of your son yet? Why are you even here?" Then I hung up on her. I just watched as tears trickled down her cheeks. I stole, lied, and robbed to get my fix. Drug addictions can drive a person completely insane.
Because of his addiction, Ling's wife and son left him. He spent half of the past 15 years incarcerated. After he was let out, Ling was finally able to overcome his addiction with the support of Tzu Chi volunteers. Thanks to his effort in anti-drug campaigns in schools and prison, Ling was recognized by the Ministry of Justice this year, which made his mother very proud.
He is supported by the love of so many Tzu Chi volunteers and also Master Zheng Yan. The past is already in the past. I think he is finally walking on the right path now.
Besides working, Ling spends the rest of his time keeping his mother company. He is grateful that he still has the chance to make amends and right the wrongs he has done.
As a major educational television and radio network in Korea, the education broadcasting system has been making great contributions in improving and developing education locally. It provides diverse educational content and strives to enhance public education while hoping to generate a positive force in society through its programming. On November 25th, a memorandum of agreement was signed between DaAi TV and EBS at the Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center. Prior to the signing of the MOA, the EBS delegation also paid Master Zheng Yan a visit at the Jingse abode in Hualien.
How to keep children safe while crossing the street and around traffic. This lively 3D animation teaches children about pedestrian and traffic safety. Green buildings have become a growing trend in recent years, just as awareness on environmental and wildlife conservation has also gained momentum. Caring for the environment and society, the biggest advocate has been the educational broadcasting system.
가난하고
There are impoverished children living on the edge of society that have been denied their right to education. Hence, their dreams of a better future can never be fulfilled. This is extremely unfair. EBS hopes to give poor and disadvantaged families the chance to pursue their dreams. This is EBS' greatest contribution.
Signing the Memorandum of Agreement, EBS and DaAi TV are now officially sister stations. One of the largest national television networks in Korea, EBS is committed to producing creative programming that is both educational and informative and suitable for viewers of all ages.
EBS' goal in helping society through educational programs is in line with DaAi TV's goal, as well of Tzu Chi's spirit of compassion.
를 통한 공치련이라는 교육 방송과의 인연과 거의 같다고 저는 생각했습니다.
In the future, whether it is co-producing a program or exchanging programs, what's important is the communication between the two parties. We will also periodically send our producers to EBS, and similarly, they will send their team members here to learn and exchange ideas.
Contributing to the betterment of society and our world through programming, EBS hopes to bring educational opportunities to more disadvantaged students in Korea. Under the leadership of EBS President Shin Yong-sup, a delegation traveled to the Jingsi abode in Hualien to pay Master Zheng Yan a visit.
Tzu Chi's Department of Communication Studies and DaAi TV has nurtured countless talents. We don't see this system anywhere else. This industry-university cooperation model is very effective.
Currently, 70% of all college entrance exam questions are extracted from EBS lectures.
By helping disadvantaged students through education, we are putting compassion into action. Tzu Chi, DaAi TV, and EBS ideals are the same.
Working for the benefit of the greater good, Master Zheng Yan hopes both DaAi TV and EBS may draw on each other's strengths and have more opportunities for exchange and collaboration in the future.
希望我们全球的可以让教育的基础打稳，让每一个孩子的心灵的方向正确，能这样子，世界才能和平。
Learning of Tzu Chi's humble beginnings and its journey in carrying out its missions, EBS delegates were deeply moved and hope to use the power of the media to exert a positive influence in society.
Over the past few days, we've brought you reports on the achievements of Tzu Chi's educational mission in Taiwan. Today, we'll learn how the Buddhist NGO's educational ideals have received recognition abroad. Currently, the Tzu Chi University in Hualien, Taiwan has 48 sister schools, while the Tzu Chi College of Technology has 37. In 2012, the Tzu Chi College of Technology officially became the first sister schools of Aichi Gakusen University in Japan. To further their interaction, both schools recently signed a memorandum of agreement.
The Aichi Gakusen University is a famous school in Nagoya, Japan, established in 1912. In 2012, the university became a sister school with the Tzu Chi College of Technology in Hualien, Taiwan. Now, students of Aichi Gakusen University can study at Tzu Chi College of Technology through exchange programs. Vice versa, pupils at Tzu Chi College of Technology can also study in Japan and at the same time earn a double degree. Thanks to their collaboration, both schools not only have the chance to learn from one another, but also broaden their students' horizons. The reason why Aichi Gakusen University chose to become a sister school at Tzu Chi College of Technology is simple.
Besides the knowledge and skills taught there, I think the philosophy promoted by the Tzu Chi College of Technology is very similar to our school. Educators in both schools teach their students with a heart of kindness.
As well, Tzu Chi University in Hualien, Taiwan has 48 sister schools abroad, including Naresuan University in Bangkok, Thailand. Currently, Naresuan University enrolls more than 30,000 students. The dean of Naresuan University once said that Tzu Chi University's goal of providing knowledge along with a spirit of humanitarianism is something that Naresuan University should emulate. During a trip to Taiwan, the vice deans of Naresuan University made a point to visit Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital.
There are so many things about the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital that moves me. One of the most memorable parts of the trip was that I saw smiles everywhere. It is quite unusual for a hospital to have such a loving atmosphere.
Furthermore, Naresuan University has even taken the initiative to offer 4 spots for graduates of the Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School to show their support for Tzu Chi's educational ideals.
Tzu Shao's in Singapore recently attended a 2-day camp organized by Tzu Chis at the Singapore Tzu Chi branch office. Activities included cleaning up nearby Pasir Ris Beach, learning songs, and partaking in activities to build teamwork skills. Here's more on the packed and fun-filled 2 days.
What's this? Why so hot?
Under the hot sun, Tzu Shaos are learning an important lesson on treasuring the environment as they work to pick up the rubbish they find along the beach.
If we don't throw garbage away carelessly, we don't have to spend the effort and time to pick it up later. Today we are picking up garbage wherever we see it.
As part of the 2-day camp, Tzu Shaos get to review their lessons over the past year.
Our family has a maid and we depend on her to do a lot, but I am now learning how to do some of those things myself.
The biggest change is that I'm more filial to my parents. When my mom wants me to clean up, I will listen to her. By understanding filial piety, there won't be any conflict between parents and children.
今年营队的主题歌是知足，就是希望大家呢一定要天天感恩我们所拥有的所有东西。
Tzu Chi Zhang Youping, himself formerly at Tzu Shao, became a Tzu Shao class coordinator 7 years ago. Now he works to help his younger brothers and sisters on the Tzu Chi path as he has seen their potential.
When they are Tzu Shaos, maybe they are not that dedicated. But after they graduate and become a Tzu Chin, it is completely different. Suddenly, those seeds that were planted before start to sprout, and you see them being more proactive and more of them joining in.
We went to those free clinics to help the sick. I hope to continue to give as a Tzu Chi.
Learning lessons on love, conservation, and contentment early on in life, these Tzu Shaos will go on to do great things one day. Lastly, we joined the U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers on their monthly visit to the Simpsons Housing Services, a homeless shelter in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As this visit coincided with the Thanksgiving holiday in the country, Tzu Chi volunteers also held a winter aid distribution, as well as providing an elaborate vegetarian banquet. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.